Well, hello again, everybody. Today we're going to talk on the line of being tenacious. Now, tenacious is an adjective. It means persisting, not easily dispelled, not relinquishing a position or course of action. It basically means that you are very determined. And the verse that we're going to be looking at today is Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 7 and 8, that says, "But the Lord said to me, do not say I am only a child. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you." Now, this is also going to have to do with the Esler of commitment. And commitment is our response to God's plan of restoration. With conviction, we endeavor to carry out God's purpose by telling His story as we work towards the common good. Now, whenever I hear this word tenacious, I think of one person and one person only. Her name was Alyssa, and I met her when she started HBA in 7th grade, I believe. Now, this girl was 4 foot 10 inches. She was a tiny little girl, but she was one of the most determined people I have ever met in my life. She was on the chapel setup team when we were doing all-school chapels. And I noticed something immediately about this girl that set her apart from everyone else. She was not afraid to speak to the high schoolers. She was not afraid to speak to the volleyball boys that were also on the chapel setup team. So I put her in charge of the chapel setup roster to check everybody off. And also how people set up, how many rows of how many chairs, things like that. And I remember one morning coming into chapel, and here this girl is, less than 5 feet, talking to this senior boy who was about 6'9", and she has to look straight up at him and tell him, "You need to set up 6 chairs in so many rows," and blah, 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 blah. And he looked down at her, and he's like, "Okay, I got this." And she was able to do all of these things, and it was amazing. And she became a member of our servant group. She became a member of our ministry team, and I knew that I could entrust almost anything to her. If she said that she was going to lead a Bible study on Thursday mornings at 7 o'clock in a certain place, you better believe she was going to be there at that time. She was truly committed to everything that she put her mind to. You know, at camp one time, I had her as a camp counselor. And I walked out of the big house, and I found boys that were trying to climb the coconut trees, or the palm trees that are right out front there. And these boys, they knew how to climb. And one of them was at least 20 feet up the tree, the other one was about 30 feet up a tree. In other words, if they fell out of the tree, they could be seriously injured. And I go out there, and I was probably going to yell at them. And Alyssa just came up to me and put her hand in front of my face and says, "I got this." And so here's this little girl that goes out there, and she just tells these boys, matter-of-factly, "You need to come down from that tree right now." She was also a foot stomper. Whenever she got mad, she would put her hands on her hips and stomp her foot. One time, I made the mistake of calling her, or saying to her, "Excuse me, little girl, you need to stop that." She put her hands on her hips, stomped her foot, and said to me, "I may be little, and I may be a girl, but I am not a little girl." This girl went on to be the head of the mock trial group, did a very good job. I believe she's studying now to be a lawyer. She is the very epitome of this word tenaciousness. To her, it didn't matter that she was only a child, only 11 years old when I first met her. But she knew that God was with her wherever she went. And she had a firm grasp of God's love on her and God's ability to work through her. So I just want to encourage everybody out there. You might be feeling as if you are separated from other people, physically, such as we are. And yeah, I got that. But I also want you to remember how to be tenacious, not easily dispelled or relinquishing a position or course of action. I want you to be determined in all of these days that we are apart from each other determined to do your work, determined to be a part of your family, determined to bring joy into that family, determined to be a positive member of whatever group you are in at whatever time you are. God will give you the ability. And, as he told Jeremiah, don't be afraid, for I am with you and will rescue you. And in these days that we are in, he will rescue you. He will rescue us. So be tenacious, be determined, know what you're going after, and go for it. And again, I've got some questions down below. If you would like to answer them, I would be greatly appreciative of that, just to see how you're doing. If you have any prayer requests, please let me know, because we do pray for you guys. Okay? So now, go wash your hands, take care of your families, hug your pet. Bye-bye.